What is up? Welcome back to another episode of Don't Quote Us Sports. It is Tuesday, December 9th. And Herb, Christmas is right around the corner.
It's
I
here,
don't know if
brother.
it's sneaking up on you, like it's sneaking up on me, but I got some gifts I gotta buy still.
I haven't bought a single gift yet.
You and me both, brother.
And Liz, even I work in the retail space, and I'll tell you, get out there early and often. But then I absolutely don't take my own advice there. But then again, I don't buy for very many people.
Yeah, I know the people. Luckily, this year I don't have to buy anything for my family because I bought them tickets to go see Rascal Flatts in January. So I was just able one foul swoop get all of them done at once with that. So I really don't have to buy as many gifts as I typically do. But for the people that I do have to buy gifts, I just haven't done it yet. And like I haven't even gotten to the point of like asking what they want yet. And it needs to get to the place where it's going to, because obviously they don't live here. So I gotta take that into account. So I probably should get moving on that, don't you think?
Well, you've got how much? What are we counting here? 12 carry the 2. You're looking at 17 days. I mean, there's time. Real quick, do you get the text from your mom of like, "Hey, send me a Christmas list"? Have you gotten one of those before?
Rachel's mom does that, and at this point, I just don't reply because I'm 29 years old now. If I want something throughout the year, I'm buying it for myself. Yeah, like I'm not 12 years old anymore. I don't need to wait months on end to get something because I don't have money.
Yeah, and for me, it's I'm the same way, but also like I don't like what do you ask for? Everything that I would put on like a wish list, right? And I mean an absolute wish list. We're talking about thousands of dollars worth of stuff. Like we're not talking not the new Xbox 360 game here for $55, okay? I want a $4,000 watch. Like, is that doable? No, that's so disrespectful. But I tell you what, I get a new pair of sheets or a new set of sheets every year. Love it. Couldn't be more happy about getting it.
Yeah. See, that's like one of those things. The things that you have to ask for are like things that you won't buy yourself. So like, I'm never gonna buy myself underwear. Sorry. I'm never gonna buy myself new socks. No matter how many pairs that Nash chews through, my dog, my golden doodle, chews through, I'm just never gonna buy myself more socks. So
when do you let's put this to the test legitimately? When's the last time you were in the store and bought socks or underwear for yourself? Can you even recall a time?
No.
Same. Maybe a pair of dress socks for a special thing.
If I looked at my drawer right now, I couldn't tell you how long some of those things have been in there, which is probably alarming. I probably should get new underwear if that's the case. Isn't that kind of like pillowcases you're supposed to replace every so often?
Pillowcases, I get new ones every year, but I have a rotation of sheets. I'm not rocking the same set of sheets for 365 days. But I get a new set. I try to rotate out an old set every year and get a new set in. Comforters, I think, are the big one, right?
I don't know.
God, I'd love a nice comforter for Christmas. My mom listens. Hey, Kelly, if you're watching, a nice comforter. Not like a down or anything like that. Just a nice comforter. Put it on the list there, Kel.
Easy enough. We just got a new comforter. Been sleeping like a baby.
Right? Oh, Chris. Oh, so hold up real quick. So I'm assuming you're fully decorated out. You're fully good to go. Last time we checked in on Christmas decorations was pre-Thanksgiving, and you'd already started rolling out the gnomes. What's the gnome count at? for our listeners.
So funny enough, you bring that up. We haven't decorated. We just have trees up. We have 2 trees up, and we haven't decorated. In Herb now, it is since it's December 8th. I
Might be too
almost just don't
late.
want to do it.
Yep, might be
I
too
just don't want
late.
to do it.
Oh,
I know because her family was in town last weekend. That typically would be the weekend that we would do it, right? But then they were here last weekend. They stayed till Monday. Then we had a full week. We had to recuperate, right? Like that. Just so overstimulated from seeing so many people,
yeah, no, I get
So
it. I get it.
I need like a week to recover. So then the next weekend came, right? Which is this past weekend that we just had, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to relax, hang out. I brought it up and said we should decorate this weekend, and then the weekend came and went, and we didn't. And I was like, might be too late now.
I would have thought Rachel would have been cracking the whip on that. I figured she'd be, hey, get off the couch. We got things to do.
No.
All right. Well, listen. I think me, along with our other 4 loyal listeners, I think we're expecting a gnome count, and we might even have to put out. You listen. The gnomes have to come out, and we need photos of each gnome in their placement, and we're going to put that out on social so everybody can see your gnome collection. Because I would like to see the variety.
Okay, I can do that for you. It doesn't take it doesn't take a lot for me to brag about my gnomes, so I can bust those out. I can get a lineup, get a lineup, and then I'll get them a picture of them in their final resting area.
In their habitat.
Yeah, their final resting area, and then maybe I can even give a little blurb about each. Maybe background, the history.
Oh, yeah, they each have their own personality. I get it.
I wonder if I could remember where I bought all those gnomes. Probably not. We'll see. Get back to you on that one.
I can't wait for you to have an Excel spreadsheet just of listed out gnomes of this is where we bought it, this is the retail value, this is where it's at now.
Well, it's too late now. I'm like 15 deep. I'd be skewing the numbers, It would be bad. It would be bad faith.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of guess. Well, maybe you start now and you just know you got your 15 OGs, and now when we hit 100, God, I can't wait to get. I'm going to get you a gnome for Christmas. I said that before. You're getting a gnome.
Okay, Christmas talk aside, Herb. Obviously, big weekend college football. We had some championship games take place over this weekend. We'll start on Friday, where we finally figured out what is going to happen in the American. And the short story to that one is Tulane. Tulane beats North Texas 34-21. North Texas probably plays one of their worst games of the year. A lot of turnovers, a lot of officiating things that seemed a little shady, in my opinion. But I don't think that changes the outcome of this game. Then in the Sun Belt, James Madison looked ugly there for the first three quarters. Fourth quarter, almost backdoor covered on them. 31-14 over Troy. And then over in the big boy conferences, Texas Tech lays belt to ass to BYU once again. Go home and soak, you bitches. Then Georgia.
Wow.
Go drink your fucking milk with Diet Pepsi, weirdos. Then Georgia finally gets the Alabama monkey off their back. When also belt to ass 28-7. We'll come back to that one momentarily. Indiana holds on, beats Ohio State 13-10, and again a game I don't really know how much either of those teams were trying to win per se. It'll be interesting if they play again in the playoff. The difference we'll see. And then the ACC, Duke does the unthinkable, full chaos scenario. beats Virginia 27-20. So, with that being said, with those results, we got the bracket released Sunday afternoon, and we had some shockers here, Herb, and that was James Madison. Yeah, James Madison's number 12. Tulane gets the 11th seed. Miami sneaks in at 10 over Notre Dame. Alabama stays at 9. Oklahoma at 8. Texas A&M 7. Ole Miss 6. Oregon 5. Texas Tech 4. Georgia 3. Ohio State 2. Indiana 1. So, or the first place, I need to start here because it just seems very. And we'll get into Notre Dame, Miami, because I know that's the big talking point. But the one thing that I need your thoughts on, because I'm kind of annoyed by it. So, BYU came into this week 12th, right? Or 11th. 11th, I think, technically. They get just belt to ass in the Big 10 or in the Big 12 championship. They drop in the rankings because that's what happens when you lose a game bad, right? Who also lost that looked really bad?
Bama.
Yeah, I thought there was another one. But then Bama loses just as bad to Georgia. And instead of dropping them in their rankings, they stay put at 9. I don't agree with that, personally. If coming into it, I should have said it last week. I am fine if Alabama makes it to the playoff, losing this game. But that's if the game was close. Because remember, Georgia was Alabama's best win this season. And the fact that Georgia came in here and absolutely stomped them. Like, this game was not competitive at all. That's enough for me to drop them out of the playoff. Personally.
Yeah, so like the excuse that you heard out of Alabama this whole time was like, don't penalize us because we played in the SEC championship game and took a loss to a great team. Like, don't penalize us. If that's the case, then the committee still has to use that logic when it comes to BYU, ranked inside the top 12, take a bad loss to a top 4 team, should technically be in the playoff if you're holding Alabama to the same standard. I'm guessing they're going to lean back on the, strength of schedule throughout the season and head-to-head and RPI and all that bullshit. But I think that's what's beating a lot of people up is the hypocrisy that we just continue to see despite changing this, every year for the last 3 years?
Yeah.
That's the tough
last
part.
2 years, at least.
That's the tough part.
Looking back at it, like looking at it now, like they should have seen this coming. Like and I know I've been a advocate for like the little guys, out there, the James Madisons, the Tulanes of the world. But let's be completely honest here. They are not 2 of the top 12 teams in the country. I can get with 1 making it, giving the little guy a chance. It's like how it used to be in the BCS era when Boise would always, or Boise, Hawaii, whoever it was that year, the flavor of the year, right? They would get their chance in a big boy game, in a bowl game that mattered, a BCS bowl, to prove it. So I'm fine with 1 of them making it. 2 of them, I don't agree with. No offense to James Madison. They played a group of 4 team this year, and they lost by 14. That was Louisville, which we both can agree on was a middle of the pack team in the grand scheme of the entire college football landscape.
Yeah. Have you seen what? Go ahead. Yeah, tell me.
I was gonna say, you want to hear the what somebody I had seen had posed, like moving forward, what we do to try and kind of make conference championships matter again a little bit, but also making sure like the best teams make it in, and then there's not so many gripes At least I don't think there would be. So obviously, this would require. So we'd have to increase the field to 14 teams. The number 1 seed and the number 2 seed are going to be the Big Ten and SEC champion. Whoever, if you get to the end of the year, whoever is better. So like this year, you'd probably have Indiana 1, Georgia 2, right? So you play that championship game like we did on Saturday, Ohio State, Indiana. You're playing for a bye. The top 2 seeds get byes. So the SEC and Big Ten champion, they get byes. Then the loser of those games, they automatically are in already. So
sure.
You have 2 teams already from SEC and Big Ten. And then you take teams 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the conference standings of each of those. And they play a play-in game that weekend as well. Where winner, so the hypothetical would have been, I think it would have been USC and Michigan again, and then Oregon and Iowa. And then whoever wins those games, they're in. Those 2 teams are in. And then you'd have 4 teams from the Big Ten, 4 teams from the SEC, Big 12 champion, ACC champion, and then, so that would be...
You're 10.
10, and then it's the 4 best at large after that.
I get what you're saying, but that model obviously favors the Big Ten and SEC way too fucking much. Because we might get an off year where 3 of the top 5 teams, because we might have a year where 3 of the top 5 to 7 teams are Big 12 teams out of nowhere, out of just some freak thing that just it plays out that way. It's happened before. You know, the ACC has been represented at the top heavily.
Not with these new conferences.
Not with the new conferences.
Not since they've gone to these. Not since they've gone to these big conferences.
Correct, but I'm not saying it's not improbable.
Changing.
It's not impossible. So I think that's why you can't favor those 2. I don't disagree that the best teams play in those 2 conferences. That's a fact. But it feels too biased towards those 2 conferences.
But even if that's the case, right? Like you got the 4 teams from the Big Ten, 4 teams from the SEC. Even if you lose the ACC or the Big 12 championship, if you're good enough, right? Not like a Duke, Virginia situation, but like this BYU, Texas Tech. BYU's probably in. They're probably one of those 4 at-large bids. So they still get 2 teams in. And you think there's another team in the Big 12 that deserve to make it?
I'm not saying this year. I'm saying it will be possible at some point. It also skews recruiting in a massive way towards the SEC and Big Ten teams. Like they have now a wildly unfair, a clear-cut unfair advantage of like, hey, we have a better chance at making the playoffs, so come here than go to Clemson or Florida State.
But that goes back to what's really enticing kids at this point. And I think that's how much NIL can you give me and what can you do to make sure I get drafted as high as possible into the NFL. And then if we win,
playing in playoff games does that.
Or championships, it helps, but like there's going to be plenty of first round picks that aren't in the playoffs this year.
Correct, but it is, historically speaking, national championship teams tend to have more guys drafted the following year. Yeah, so I think that equates.
Because that means they're just good.
Or that they've played more games in the limelight in front of NFL scouts. Like that has an effect too. Because listen, not every scout is going to watch the Meineke Car Care Bowl where there could be a first rounder in there, but I guarantee every scout in the NFL will watch both of these, the Fiesta and the Chick-fil-A Bowl.
I think you might be vastly underestimating the size of the scouting departments these NFL teams have.
No, I understand what their scouting departments is. Not every scout in every organization will watch the Meineke Car Care Bowl, but every scout in every organization will watch both of those.
They'll have somebody from the organization.
Correct. That's not what I'm saying. Correct. That's not what I'm saying. Every scout. So if the Vikings have 30 scouts, One of them might watch the Meineke Car Care Bowl. All 30 will watch both of those playoff games. All 30 individuals in that department. That's what I'm saying is more eyes, more limelight, more nationally televised games tends to help you become a pro football player. So if the SEC and Big Ten have a better probability, it's going to skew recruiting for some of these kids. I don't disagree. NIL's huge. What can you do to get me to the NFL? Absolutely. That could play a part of it in that scenario. Oh, he's Googling. What are we Googling?
Talk about something different for a second. I
don't know. I want to know what you think of this Oregon James Madison spread because I agree that those are going to be two rough games.
I didn't even see what they put it at.
Minus 23.5 for a playoff game.
Sounds about right.
It's a tough beat.
Right.
It's a tough beat. Yeah. I think the Tulane one's like 12.5.
The recruiting ranks. You want to see how far we can get down before we get a non-Big Ten or SEC school now, the way it is now?
Sure.
Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan, Florida, Auburn, Texas A&M, LSU, Tennessee, Notre Dame. If you got an independent, we got all the way to 12. Keep going. USC 13, Miami at 14. So we have 2 out of the top 14 teams, not in the SEC, Big 12 or Big 10. But then we got Penn State, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, South Carolina. So 2 out of the top 18. Florida State, Missouri, 3 out of the top 20.
Sure. But no doubt that will be an unfair advantage. I don't care if they already have the leg up. It would literally be a favoritism of the SEC and Big Ten, and I'm not here for that.
I mean, I can't argue it at this point when the best teams play in those conferences.
And I think these power conferences are part of the bigger issue too. I think these power conferences are gross at this point.
Most definitely.
Let me ask you about the playoff.
No.
Let me ask you about this playoff. Is there a game where you see an upset in the first round? Is there any chance of one?
I gotta pull up the bracket again. Sorry.
It would be number 10 Miami over Texas A&M, Tulane over Ole Miss, Bama over Oklahoma, or JMU over Oregon.
I can see Miami beating Texas A&M, and I can see Alabama beating Oklahoma.
Yeah, I don't know which Oklahoma team's going to show up, and I agree that Miami probably could be real sneaky. I hope not. I don't know if I know Oklahoma's favored -1.5. I just don't know that I consider that. Like, those are two very even teams for me, Oklahoma and Alabama. So I like them at 8 and 9. Like that they have to play each other. They're very, very even teams. I think it's going to be a good game. God, I don't want Miami to win after sneaking in, though.
I mean, wouldn't that just prove the point that they're one of the top 12 best teams?
Correct, it would. But it would also prove me wrong in a lot of ways. So I'm really banking on A&M here.
Well, it would not be the first, and it will not be the last time you've ever been wrong. So don't worry about it.
No, it's a daily operation here, okay, or a daily occurrence rather. Let me ask you this about the playoff as well.
Back to the real.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Maybe we'll see if it's the Miami Notre Dame thing. But ask me your question.
No, let's do that, and then we'll come back to mine. It'll be a good way to round this out.
Okay. So obviously we have to come back to the Miami Notre Dame controversy, if that's what you want to call it. But obviously throughout the year, Notre Dame was ranked higher once they started to go on that win streak than Miami. I think part of it most likely was name brand associated with that program. Obviously, they did look good in those games. I won't discount them. But then I think the committee found themselves in a situation towards the last couple of weeks where both of the teams just kept winning and staying kind of in that same ballpark, you know, to the point where they finally got to we need to take into account the head to head. And we had talked about this offline, right? Where I believe Notre Dame today is probably a better team than Miami.
Couldn't agree
But
more.
for the committee to, if they would have put Notre Dame in over Miami, it just would have totally undermined the entire process behind it in that head to head. Because what does a head to head victory matter anymore then? That literally would mean they are only looking at the amount of wins and not who you're beating. So I can respect the committee for essentially righting their wrong with this move.
Yeah, and listen, if they would have put Notre Dame in over Miami, we'd be on the flip side of this conversation. We'd be having just the opposite conversation for sure. I think, and you might not think this as well, but I think this was a clear message from the committee to Notre Dame that say, despite 130 years of being an independent football team, it's time to join a conference. I think that's what this really boils down to.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with you, right? Because you look at their games outside of the Miami and Texas A&M game. I'll run through it here real quick. Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State, NC State, USC, but it was at home, Boston College, Navy, at Pittsburgh, Syracuse, Stanford. A majority of those teams finished in the bottom half, if not the bottom of their conferences. So it's a bunch of cupcakes. So it's not like they really had a leg to stand on this year. Who'd you beat? USC and Pitt. Those are your two best wins.
And I get that, right? I'm having a tough part because I don't like Miami being in there. I've said that. My part is when I sit here and look at this field, and you said it already. If Notre Dame and Miami played, who wins that game today?
I'm saying Notre Dame, but I also don't want to do that SEC hypothetical of hypotheticals that they
Sure,
love to do.
sure, I get that, but I think Notre Dame would have a chance against Oklahoma and Alabama at this point too. So that's the tough part for me. I get why the committee did it. I told you offline, I don't love Miami's losses, but at least they were against teams that hung around in the rankings all year in Louisville and SMU. So I can't knock that there. I just, it's got to be fixed, and nobody has a fucking fix, and it's frustrating. But, I would love to see Vandy in it too, but clearly you look at this field, Vandy shouldn't have been there. Maybe over JMU, but I get why they put two G5 teams in too. I get it. I get what they're trying to do.
No, they were forced. They were forced into having two group of 5 teams in there because they were moronic enough to think that a situation like this would never happen.
And sure shit it did.
And funny enough, yeah, the first year it's possible it happens.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, after watching the ACC game, I agree that neither Duke nor Virginia should have been in this playoff. Like I can sit here now and say that where I think I had made cases previously for Virginia being the SEC or ACC champion. Like they should get it. Just watching the level of play versus the SEC and the Big 12 games, it's like, oh, they are playing at a little bit of a different level here. So maybe not. So maybe Miami is the one.
And it's just so funny too how this all shaked out because due to the fact of how big the ACC is, well, all these conferences are, right? The only reason that Duke made the ACC title game instead of Miami was due to a bunch of fucking tiebreakers. Like it went down like a bunch of different like it wasn't the first tiebreaker. I don't think it was the second or the third. Like they were moving down that list to figure out who was going to do it. Because if Miami makes it to the ACC championship game and wins it like we expect them to, right? They're taking one of those automatic bids. Now James Madison doesn't make it in. Now Notre Dame gets in. Then we don't even
Yep.
have this conversation. But because these conferences are so goddamn big, it played out like this, which leads us to all being upset, finding a way to be upset.
Yeah, let's start it here, or at least reignite the fire of it. Make the Pac-12 great again. Bring it back so we don't have to deal with this nonsense anymore. It would make more sense if the Pac-12 was still around.
What are you talking about? The Pac-12 is going to be back next year.
The real Pac-12.
You want to know a fun fact?
Ooh, I love fun facts.
So remember when the Big Ten used to be split into East and West for the longest time?
Yep. Still should be.
You want to know if we still had those breakdowns, who would have been the Big Ten champion for the last, I don't know, long time?
Yeah, go. Yeah, hit me.
Okay. And I'm just going to give you the division. So this year, East. Last year would have been Pac-12 North. Then East. That gets us to 2017. East. You have to go back to 2012. Wisconsin wins.
Yep. I was going to say
for a Big Ten West team to hold the crown.
Yeah, I mean it has just been Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State for forever.
Yeah, the Pac-12 has more Big Ten championships in the last decade than the Big Ten West.
Shout out Oregon. Let's love Oregon.
That's
tough. God. Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought you'd find it interesting.
I do like that. Let me hit you with this real quick. You still got the bracket pulled up over there?
Yeah. No, but I can get to it.
I said this to you, taking a big step back and looking at this bracket. I think Texas Tech might have I don't want to say the easiest, but I like the matchups along the way for Texas Tech to the semifinal and maybe even to the final. What do you think? Who do you think when you look at this? Who's they could win those games and be in the title game?
We talked about this. You had me run through a hypothetical bracket like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I think I'm still in the same boat. I find it super hard not to see Indiana and Ohio State in a rematch for the national title here in a couple weeks. I just think they are that much better than everybody else. But yes, that top side of the bracket with Texas Tech and Indiana, I would definitely say is the easier side because the Ohio State, Georgia is two very tough opponents. But then I think Ole Miss can keep it tight. But they're a wild card. We don't know what type of team from Ole Miss we're going to see in the playoff. And then the Miami, Texas, and A&M, I don't know. They're kind of a wild card to me. But that's why I don't know. I don't like that side of the bracket so much. But I feel like that top side technically is probably an easier path, but we'll see. I'm not sold on it. Remember last year, Oregon was the number 1 seed, and Ohio State came in round 2 and beat them. So we'll see if that rust versus rust argument holds up this year compared to last. Because if you remember correctly, all teams that had a bye, they all lost round 1.
Yep. Now, taking that out of consideration, really, because I don't know that 1, 2, 3, 4 are going to be our semifinalists. But where's your head at for that idea?
I think Texas Tech gets there. I think Indiana gets there. The only one I can confidently say is Georgia, just because of
Mm-hmm.
how close Old Miss played them already once this year. But again, we don't know what type of team we're going to see from Old Miss either at this point. And I feel like Georgia is better now than they were when they initially played Old Miss earlier this year. So I'm not sure. But then Ohio State, I think, beats Miami or Texas A&M.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think if we see the Ole Miss team we've seen all year, even without Lane Kiffin, if they can figure that out, I think they can beat Georgia. I don't know if they can beat Ohio State in the semi, but I think Ole Miss is going to be that team that if they're going to sneak into the semi outside the top four, wouldn't be terribly shocked if Oklahoma did. But Indiana's a hell of a football team.
The only two teams I could see from the opening weekend making it to the semifinals with like a higher than 25% chance are Old Miss and Oregon.
Yeah,
But I don't even think
yeah.
Oregon, I don't even know if Oregon's that good, to be honest with you.
I don't like the matchup with Texas Tech for Oregon because this is a team that can maintain pace on both sides of the ball with the Ducks. And normally they've got a speed advantage on one side of the ball or the other. This one, I think, is pretty even keel. That's going to be a hell of a football game.
I just don't know if Oregon's good, though. Their best win is 2 points against Iowa on a last second field goal. They lost to Indiana and then had to go into overtime against a Penn State team that ended up sucking. And then they beat USC by 15. But I mean that's it.
Yeah, and I'm putting a lot of faith in Dante Moore and Dan Lanning in a big way. I think this is the type of time of year Dan Lanning really shows why he is one of the best coaches out there. So that's why I put some stock into it. I just hate that matchup for them against Texas Tech.
Oh, this time of year when he loses playoff games reminds us why he's such a good coach. Interesting.
There's there's something there. I still think he's one of the best coaches in football. It, Dan Lanning time, baby. I got to believe a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. First game is next Friday. So we got a week to prepare.
Is that how far? Yeah, it
Out
is
of
that
those
far away.
teams that have a home playoff game, what do you think the rowdiest venue is going to be? Eugene, Norman, Oxford, or College Station?
I think the pregame in Oxford, Mississippi is going to be crazy. I think the Grove is going to be nuts. But in terms of inside the stadium, electricity and vibe, it's Boomer Sooner. Norman is going to be fucking rocking in this one.
I was gonna say, could you imagine Power being played at Texas A&M for kickoff though?
I get the 12th man and all that. I just Norman, Oklahoma. Are they? And listen, they're playing at A&M at 11 a.m. They're playing in Norman at 7 p.m. Brother, under the lights.
Ooh,
This is huge. Norman, Oklahoma might
yeah,
might be the place to be on Saturday after or evening. Ooh.
yep, yeah, yep.
Oh hey,
Okay, Irby.
can I
What?
mention?
What?
Can,
Say
can I
something.
mention one thing? And I got to go back to the Notre Dame thing. I apologize for not saying it earlier. What do you make of this turning down the bowl game thing? Do you make much of it?
I think it's bullshit unless your coach left. So like obviously Kansas State, Kansas State, Iowa State both got fined $500,000 for opting out. I can respect that. They had both their coaches leave. Their rosters are in fucking turmoil. With all things considered, I'm okay with that. Notre Dame backing out of a bowl game because their fucking butthurt is bullshit to me, and it's bullshit to the players as well because obviously a lot of these players, these seniors that don't have another game left, fully expected to have another game left in the playoff. They didn't think that game that they played last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago now, would be their last game ever. And their coaches, their program, their athletic director, whoever it is, took that decision away from them.
Do you really think that...
I don't agree with that.
Do you really think Jeremiah Love would have played in the Pinstripe Bowl?
I'm not so worried about Jeremiah Smith, but there's players on that roster who aren't going to make it to the NFL, whose playing days are done after college. So the last time, like, they just didn't, I don't feel like they weren't given the opportunity, right, to fully embrace. You know what it's like to play knowing it's your last collegiate game, your last football game ever. Like, you know, that was kind of robbed of them because I'm sure they would have probably gone about that game 2 weeks ago a whole lot differently if they knew it was going to be their last game. And I'm sure there's a lot of players in that boat that probably didn't get a chance to play because they thought they had another game left, potentially.
Yeah, I get that. I've heard that argument, and I don't disagree. Like, yeah, I would prefer them playing the bowl game. Your stars are all going to sit out, whatever. It looks like a temper tantrum thrown by Notre Dame for sure. I'm not as rubbed the wrong way about it, to be honest. Like, it really doesn't affect me too much, but I can understand why people are griping about it for sure. Let the kids play football, man. It does look like they are a little butthurt throwing a tantrum.
But at the same time, it just goes to show we are going to see the end to some of these bowl games. Like, we're going to see a reduction in bowl games because we have how many 5-7 teams that got that are playing in bowls now because so many teams opted out of it. Like, we shouldn't be rewarding teams that win 5 games just because all these other teams.
So you think maybe if we bumped it up to like, 7 win minimums, you think that would be better? And we could shrink down some of these bowl games?
I don't know. I don't know what they have to do, but you're just going to keep seeing teams opt out, and then you're just going to have lower quality games, right? And if the goal of these bowl games is to generate revenue, right? Let's be honest. How many fans are truly going to travel for their 5-7 football team to go play a game?
Probably not very many.
Who's going to go to Birmingham, Alabama to watch the J-Lab Birmingham Bowl if their 5-7 team makes it?
Who's playing in that one this year? I was hoping you had it right in front of you.
App State.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you said something about these lower bowl games in that way. Can we talk about some of these fucking names? The Gin and Juice Las Vegas Bowl presented by the Gin and Juice Vegas Bowl presented by Snoop Dogg. What are we doing here? Yeah, hit me with it.
I like the Wasabi Fenway Bowl.
Just general wasabi, just as an entity?
Yeah. And then you got the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. Kind of gas.
That used to be new.
Bowling Military Bowl.
What are we doing? That used to be the
Game Above Sports Bowl.
Huh?
Then we got the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl.
Scooters Coffee.
The Bush's Boca Raton Bowl.
Bush's Big Beans?
Yeah. Then we got the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl.
Sure.
The Xbox Bowl. The IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl. The Staff DNA Cure Bowl. Come on, you can't tell me these kids aren't going to be playing their hearts out to win that Staff DNA Cure Bowl and the trophy that comes along with that one.
Dude, these names suck.
Dude, you can't tell me that Boise State and Washington aren't going to put their all on the field to win that bucked up LA Bowl.
Bucked up like the pre-workout company?
I would assume so.
Dude, there's no way it costs that little to sponsor a bowl game now. And respect to Bucked Up, because I'm sure they're a very well-to-do corporation. But you're telling me that Bucked Up has naming a bowl game money?
Dude, I just can't wait for either Coastal Carolina or Louisiana Tech to proudly show a Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl trophy in their trophy case. That's gonna sway some kids.
On prominent display, I'm sure.
Yeah. Come on. A kid's walking through Arizona or Duke, and they say a Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl trophy sold on the spot.
I bet you that is a sick little. I bet you, like in reality, I bet you that is a sick little trophy.
I can't believe that Lockheed Martin is allowed to sponsor the Armed Forces Bowl. That seems inappropriate.
They really hit the nail right on the head on that one, huh?
That seems very inappropriate.
Oh, this is such bullshit
else, college
too.
Football.
No, hold on, wait a minute. The Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl trophy isn't even Tony the Tiger holding a sun. Tony the Tiger's not even involved. It looks like they stuck the Lombardi trophy on top of a shoebox and painted it black and said, "Here you go." What an absolute miss.
Yep. They used to have what was it? The Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl, I think is what it called. And then Gronk used to have a bowl game too.
Maybe for a year. The Gronk Bowl? Fuck. What are we doing?
Some shit like, dude, it was bad. What are we
doing? Fuck. Anything more on college football?
Okay.
Do you have any remarks on Coach Campbell?
Yeah, I do. I liked Coach Campbell. Why the fuck did he have to leave like an asshole and not say anything to his team and have them find out on social media? That seems like a fucking scum move, if you ask me. From a guy that I don't believe to be a scummy guy, that seemed very scummy.
Yeah, I don't love that whatsoever. I wonder how much Iowa State or Penn State athletic departments had to do with that. Because I don't disagree with you. I think Campbell's probably a stand-up guy and would like to address his team. I wonder if he wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, it all happened so fast. I'm not sure. But still, seems like bullshit, if you ask me. I'm also pretty sure Iowa State ended up losing money with that whole transactions of coaches because Penn State paid them like $2 million for Campbell's buyout. And
I got the numbers if you want them.
Pay Washington State $4 million for. Yeah, hit me. I'm gonna butcher them.
So you were actually pretty close. So Matt Campbell's buyout, Penn State pays $2.5 million to Iowa State to get Campbell out of his contract. Why that was so low, I don't know, but it is what it is. So Iowa State's plus 2.5. They bow out of the bowl game, so that they're minus 500,000. So they have $2 million in the bank. Then they had to pay Washington State $4 million to get Rodgers out of his contract. So now they're down $2 million. It's like, here's the issue is when a year from now, when they're begging donors for money, right? What's to say some of these donors don't look at them and go, you guys turned down $500,000 because you didn't play in a bowl game. What was that all about? Why did we turn down free money and now you're here on my doorstep asking for more? That's a little concerning to me. I get why they didn't go to a bowl game. But you can't tell me that the defensive staff couldn't have taken over there and ran that program. For one bowl game, and for a Gasparilla Bowl, get a little more money in the pocket.
Don't worry, they recoup it in the first year. They were paying Matt Campbell $5 million a year. They're only giving Jimmy Rogers $3 million. So
Hey,
there's
there
your
we go.
extra $2 million.
Jamie Pollard at work.
I made a point. Don't you worry.
Here's also, what I do want to say real quick. Can I say something?
No,
Iowa State.
One last thing. Go ahead. No, fine.
Please go ahead.
Unrelated to Iowa State.
Okay. Living in the state of Iowa.
We've been talking a lot about all these God fucking damn it, Herb.
This lag is killing me.
God.
Go ahead. Isaiah, please, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Aneurysm. I was just going to say, with the amount that we've talked about these new head coaching hires across college football, did nobody fucking learn anything from these massive buyouts that we've seen this year? Because every single one of them are getting 5, 6, 7 year contracts where they're going to be on the hook for massive amount of money.
Have they announced his buyout or what? Have they announced his buyout or what his total is? They said they were going to make him a top 10 paid coach.
You talking about Matt Campbell?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
I assume they haven't yet.
I can look it up.
So while you look that up, let me speak my piece to the Iowa State faithful. Let me speak my piece to the Iowa State faithful, okay? Living in Iowa, I've heard a lot of stuff all of a sudden that Matt Campbell wasn't a good guy and Matt Campbell did this or that in a negative way. Or, Matt Campbell really didn't do much for us. Iowa State fans, shut your fucking mouth. That man provided 10 of the best years of football that maybe the state of Iowa, but certainly Iowa State University has ever seen. You should be building a statue of him. He went on to a bigger and better job. That's okay. So everybody chill out with this Matt Campbell hate.
Don't worry. Matt Campbell's buyout is 100% guaranteed. He's making his $70.5 million no matter what.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
Okay, Herb. So let's flip on over to the NFL real quick. We had an exciting weekend. So let's start with the updated standings so we can get an idea of what we're looking at here. So Denver, New England, Jacksonville, and Pittsburgh are your division leaders in the AFC. Your wildcard teams are Buffalo at 9-4, Chargers at 8-4. They still play tonight. And then the Texans at 8-5. On the outside looking in are the Colts at 8-5, the Ravens 6-7, the Chiefs at 6-7. Come back to that. In the NFC, we have the Rams, Packers, Eagles, who are also playing tonight, and then the Bucks as your division leaders. And then in your wild card, you have the Seahawks at 10-3, 49ers at 9-4, and Bears at 9-4. On the outside looking in, you have the Lions at 8-5, Panthers at 7-6, and I guess the Cowboys are 6-1 if you want to throw them in as well. Because I think they're still in the division race, so I'll throw them in as well. Herb, I am getting ready to say that this is going to be the AFC teams that are going to make it. The only team I'm not sure on is the AFC North. If Baltimore will be able to pull it out, I don't know. It doesn't seem they're trying everything in their power not to win that division at this point. So I would not be surprised if the Steelers win it. But to be honest with you, I think the Chiefs are still going to make the playoffs because you want to hear what needs to happen, and I think is something extremely valid that could happen.
Please.
So for the Chiefs to win out and get the 7th seed, all they have to do is win out, so win their next 4 games. That's going to be the hardest part. Then the Chargers just need to go 2-3 against the Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, Texans, and Broncos.
Doable.
And then the Colts need to go 2-2 without Daniel Jones against the Seahawks, 49ers, Jaguars, and Texans. They might go 0-4.
Yeah. Yeah, they might.
There's a very real chance.
I guess I didn't look at it like you did, and I'm glad you brought that to me because just before you said that, I'm the opposite. I'm out on the Chiefs. I think they're missing the playoffs. There is a road where they sneak in there, but they have to win out, and they still have Denver to play. So tough one there. They're banged up, man. They're banged up bad.
Their line is non-existent at this point.
And even the guy Asapoli, the left tackle that came in, played well, but you can't rely on that guy come playoff time. He just doesn't have the experience. They're so banged up that I just don't see them getting there. And the Mahomes magic, here's what I want to say about these Chiefs. The Mahomes magic is still there. The problem is there's nobody on the other end of the ball to catch it. Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy had stones for hands last night. I know it was cold, but God bless. Travis Kelce is a tough watch the last couple weeks. Truthfully, Pat Mahomes just needs a Toyota Camry, an updated model Toyota Camry that he can just rely on to catch the ball at 5-7 yards because they can't do that right now. And it's brutal to watch, man. And that's why I think, and a lot of that's recency bias of why I'm saying they're not a playoff team. But if they go out and put that product on the field again, I don't know that they're winning another game this year.
I'm not arguing that they're a playoff team from what we've seen on the field. I just know the NFL in Kansas City, they'll find a way. That's why I just can't. They should be dead. They should be dead. They've died multiple times this year. And yet, here we just keep coming back to it. Because they're there. You always have there until they are dead. 7 feet in the ground, buried in concrete. There's a chance that they're alive still. And that's where we find ourselves right now. Like they're in the hole and it's being buried upon them right now. But they haven't started backing up the concrete to really leave them trapped in there. You know?
Yep.
But no, I don't think they're a playoff team. Even if they are a playoff team, I'm not scared of them like I typically would.
Have you looked at their record lately? They're 6-7, obviously. They're 1-5 on the road.
Yeah,
that's
about right. And on top of that, if they do sneak into the playoffs, they would be a 7 seed, and then would have to then win 3 games on the road to make it to the Super Bowl, which is just not going to happen.
Correct.
No offense to Chiefs fans. I know we have a couple Chiefs buddies that listen to this podcast or at least see our clips. Do not come for my head. I feel like this is not anything groundbreaking that we are saying. This is not a scary team this is not a Kansas City Chiefs team of the past.
No, not at all. And I don't think we're throwing shade at all. I think we're being very realistic on this. I mean, we could be sitting here talking about how shit they were last night, but the reality is they're going to win more games this year. I don't know how many more, but they're going to. That road record's rough, and that you don't see that out of a playoff team. You don't see a poor road record like that. You might not have a winning record on the road, but that bad of a road record is not where you want to be whatsoever. Also, you watched that game last night?
No, I didn't.
Dude, there was hitting in that game that made me think that, like, a little bit of old school NFL football in the back.
Oh, wait. Now that you mentioned that, I did see the one Rashee Rice hit, and it reminded me of maybe the best tweet I had ever seen, or at least seen it in a hot minute. And I hopefully can find it here. Yep, I can. Fuck yeah. It was a tweet that said, and it was a video of the hit. It says, Rashee Rice finally understands what it feels like to get unexpectedly hit at a high rate of speed and have the man responsible leave the scene. And I Chef's kiss, no notes. Best tweet I've seen in a minute.
I know the hit you're talking about too, and he got smacked. And was it Aziz just walked away, or whoever the hell it was?
Yeah, man, that one hits a little too close to home, don't it?
Hey, it wouldn't be funny if it wasn't true. No, but that whole game though, dude, they were hitting form tackles, driving through, putting our shoulder through other people's chests. I loved it. It was awesome, and there was nothing.
Dude, all I
There's
can
nothing
think of
dirty
right
about
now,
it.
Herb, is all I can think about is you. Have you seen the Wolverine meme of him laying in his bed with his like a picture, and he's holding
Yes, I
it,
have.
and he has like his hand on it?
Yep.
Like that's how I'm envisioning. Like the way you're talking about this right now, that's how I'm envisioning it. Is you just laying in your bed and you're just watching the like these sound tackles, and you're like, oh,
Just a
God,
box of Kleenex and a bottle of Lubriderm on the nightstand.
it's beautiful. Tears
That's
to my eyes.
No, dude, that was it. Was so cool to see that. Those are the Houston defense is a championship caliber defense. Holy shit, are those guys flying around, man? They are an incredible unit.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. In other AFC South news, obviously we have to talk about the key injury within the division, and that is Daniel Jones leaving the game on Sunday. Found out it was a torn right Achilles. He was already playing on a broken left fibula, tore his right Achilles during this game. And this is not the way I wanted to take a victory lap, but this all but guarantees my victory lap when I say that Indianapolis will not make the playoffs. Well, one, I said they wouldn't win the division, but now they're just not even going to make the playoffs, which is very sad for how fun of a team they were at the beginning of this year. But I also wanted to put this on the flip side in case you haven't thought about it this way. Remember, just a couple weeks ago, the Indianapolis Colts traded 2 first-round picks to the New York Jets this year and next year. Well, this year, it's probably going to fall in the late teens, early 20s. But next year, the Jets could be looking at a potential top 5 to 10 pick from the Indianapolis Colts. Because we have no idea who's going to be playing quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, things would have to go horribly wrong. Like, and I get it's an Achilles.
Wait. Daniel Jones never signed an extension. Did he? Did I forget?
No, he didn't he sign a 4-year deal
for this year?
I thought they had solidified him as their long-term or at least 3 to 4 year solution.
No, 1 year. He signed a 1-year deal, and they were going to extend him.
Boy,
he's not even under contract for next year. I feel bad for Dan. Okay, maybe I don't feel terrible for Daniel Jones because he got that Giants contract, but he was playing his way into getting a nice little bridge deal, like that Baker Mayfield 3 years, $100 million,
35 to 40 million.
He's not getting. That sucks
for both parties. What the fuck are the Colts going to do now?
That is true. Because if their plan is to trot out Riley Leonard in a playoff race the rest of the season, they're doing a disservice to the rest of that team.
Well, and who knows if he can go? You saw the potential knee injury for him. Who are they running out there on Sunday this week?
They've already have made a call to Phillip Rivers for a workout.
Is that real?
Hi, I'm reading it on ESPN as we speak.
Hey, hold on now. Hold on. I'm not saying it would work, but I bet you Phil's in shape. They're in a position that
He
he would
hasn't,
like. I don't know. I'm not saying it would
or
work, dude.
he has not played an NFL game since 2020.
It's been that long.
He last played for Indianapolis in 2020. I'm pretty sure that was his last year.
Oh God, I thought he played until like 22. I thought he was only
He's
2 or 3 years.
44.
Nope. Never mind. Nope. I don't even want to entertain that idea. No. No. No.
Hey, he was low-key goated last time he was out there, though. He threw for 24 touchdowns, 11 picks, and 4,000 yards, completed 68% of his passes.
5 years ago, and he wasn't in his 40s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I didn't. Oh my God.
But think about it. They were trotting out fucking Daniel Jones with a broken tibia the last couple of weeks. You're telling me Phillip Rivers doesn't have as much mobility as a dude with a broken fibula? Come on.
No, no. You can't. You can't. God, who are they gonna start?
I don't even
on
know
Sunday?
if I don't even know if I'm against it. I read you some of the names before we started recording today of the potential options out there, and they're not great. We got Riley Leonard, who's already injured. Not sure he's playing on Sunday. They had Brett Ripon on the practice squad. He got elevated. And then your free agent options right now are Ryan Tannehill, Taylor Heineke, Dorian Robinson Thompson. Who else did I say? Hendon Hooker.
Yeah.
Not great. Not great. I think I would rather have Phillip Rivers of those names. If your goal is to actually trying to win games.
I think you could go Tannehill and be in a similar position that you're already in.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see a viable option because Anthony Richardson is still on IR, or is he magically healthy?
IR. I think he's out for the year. He literally broke a bone in his face.
Yeah, I think you got to call Tannehill. I think you got to come in and say, hey, we don't have a lot of expectations. We just need you to game manage and let JT do his thing.
I think the reason, I might be wrong, I don't think Steichen was the coach back in 2020. That would be the only thing I'm thinking of is just they have, it was Frank Reich.
Yeah.
I was going to say they would have the continuity, but Steichen, I
might have been the OC or something like that.
Because I doubt it's true. I was going to say, or he is like from that Frank Reich like coaching tree, so he runs like a similar type offense. Whether or not that's true or not, I have no idea. But if we're talking like it's already Monday, right? And we're talking about who can come in and play on Sunday. If that's the case, though, you have Phillip Rivers, who is a veteran, who understands all of this, can pick up an offense very quickly, I'm sure. And then you have an offense that he's used to, right? It wouldn't be out of the question, right? If he signs tomorrow, He could probably play on Sunday. Tannehill, on the other hand, I don't think that would take a second. I'm sure he could come in and play on Sunday. I don't know how well he'd be able to operate the offense on Sunday.
I think Steichen could probably dumb it down enough for a guy like Tannehill. You know, and it's not like Tannehill hasn't been in these positions before of like pushing a team towards a playoff. Again, not saying Tannehill is going to be the reason they make a playoff, but he understands what's at stake. He understands what they're after right now. I mean, otherwise it's Sam Ellinger, right? Because of familiarity with the program.
Oh yeah, that's who I forgot. It's just gonna be so sad if the Colts don't make it. They have so many fun guys on offense that it would have been so fun to see them in a healthy form make it to the playoffs with Michael Pittman and Alec DePierce and Josh Downs and Tyler Warren and Jonathan Taylor and Quentin Nelson. Like, it's just a fun group of guys, you know? So I would like to see them at least try and get somebody and not wave the white flag.
Yeah, this late, you are already sliding. You have the trade isn't an option, and you have really no capital next year. I mean, what if they put together some package for the number 1 overall pick next year, and they just go get Mendoza, which is such a Colts pick. I mean, it's not going to happen, but that's such a Colts move to make.
They wouldn't be able to after trading those
No,
first 2 round picks.
they have no capital. God bless. They are up shit creek without a paddle. Daniel Jones thing that changes everything. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel bad for him.
Certainly do.
Other big overreaction is there was a lot of talk in the last week or two that Mike Tomlin's streak of finishing 500 or better would come to an end in year 20. And you know what he said? Ha! Not so fast, young fella. Because look where we are. Once again, Herb. The Pittsburgh Steelers find themselves top of the AFC North at 7-6 after beating the Baltimore Ravens at home. Do you think they can do it? They got to win 2 more games, 2 out of 4, to finish above 500. But that's probably enough to win that division too.
I want them to, because I like Mike Tomlin as a coach. You look at the schedule upcoming. They're home against the Dolphins, they're at the Lions, they're at the Browns, and then they're home against the Ravens. They can win 2 of those ball games and keep this thing going.
Yeah. Are they also going to be the most likely home team to lose in the first round of the playoffs if they make it?
Yes. Absolutely, yes. I would probably bet against them if they make this playoff.
They make the playoffs, you know what their reward's going to be? Playing Josh Allen and the Bills.
Just getting dicked down by him.
But also, in the flip side, if the Ravens end up winning the AFC North, we've talked about just the gauntlet that these young AFC quarterbacks have to face with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert and all of these names. And then we would get a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson round 1 playoff. And then you already know how that's going to go. Whoever loses that game, their legacy's at risk.
Yep.
I don't know if we're coming back.
I want that to be the AFC Championship game. I hope there's a road for that to happen, and I think there is. But could you imagine that we start the season with one of the most electric games of the year, getting the Ravens and Bills in the AFC Championship somehow?
There's no way that it would happen.
It couldn't happen? What a shame. Well, so it's either first round matchup or nothing for those two?
No, because the only way the Ravens are making it in is if they win the division. So they'd be 4 seed. So then it would take the Bills having to drop down in the standings. They are 9-4, and the Chargers are 8-5.
Gotcha.
So I guess it potentially could happen still, but I don't know.
Because starting the season off and then ending the AFC season in the same fashion, that's what us fans want. That's what we love.
Can we talk about the most, swept under the rug 11-2 team I've ever, I remember in a long time? Because that's the Denver Broncos, who just won their 10th straight game on Sunday. And I feel like not a soul is talking about them.
Nope.
And if they are, it is super negative.
And it's all centered around everybody's got this big concern about Bo Nix's play. Turns out Bo Nix's play is what this team needs. Yeah, well, we all love him seeing him throw 3 touchdowns in a game. Yeah, but it's working. whatever this is, whatever this style of play is working. I mean, Bo Nix didn't have a terrible game. He just didn't have a spectacular game.
I just don't know, like, how scared should I be of Denver in the playoffs? They're going to have home field advantage, most likely, throughout. How scared, how real are the Denver Broncos? I can see an argument that they're not scary at all.
Sure, and I would hear the argument, but then I would ask them to take a look at that defense. And again, it is just everybody's so focused on Bo Nix's inability to throw touchdowns. The offense is humming, and the defense is keeping teams to a low point total. So they don't have to go out there and score 42 points a game. I know fans want to see it. So, yeah, you might not be afraid of their offense, but you should be deathly afraid of that defense and what they're capable of. They're one of the top scoring defenses in the country, or in the league. I mean, they've got more turnovers and touchdowns than most. This is a team that is going to lean heavy on them, and that's okay because the offense can keep them in a position to win, and the defense will go finish it out.
I agree. The defense can win them games. It's just I don't trust the offense to put up enough points.
See, I don't think they're going to have to. I think, and I called it. You remember how I was talking about these Broncos before the season?
Yep.
The same holds true today. The same holds true today. And that wasn't like me get patting myself on the ass, maybe a little bit, but the same holds true today. Bo Nix is keeping them in a good spot. This is just a team. They're nitty gritty, dude. They just win ball games. They don't give a shit who they're playing. Now, do I think if they're playing, at Buffalo, and if that plays out, yeah, they might struggle. That's a tougher place to play. I don't know if the Broncos are going to win out, though. Let me take a look at their schedule. They're playing at home against Green Bay. That'll be a great test. And then you finish out with at the Chiefs and home against the Chargers. So I don't foresee them winning out, but we're going to have a great litmus test of knowing where the Broncos are at going into the playoffs.
Okay, and the only other NFL thing I just had to bring up real quick is just the fact that J.J. McCarthy might have me in a chokehold again.
Here we go.
And I fucking hate it. I almost just want him to be bad at this point so I don't have to sit there and think about the what ifs. And then I was there. You heard me last week talk about it. Or the week before that. And then what's he do? Goes and plays his best game as an NFL quarterback from start to finish. And Herb, he has me in a chokehold until he can decide one way or the other, and I hate it.
Yeah, I would hate it too.
It's like an ex-girlfriend you just can't get the taste of out of your mouth. It's just he's lingering there.
I told you I'm not out on him. I'm glad that he had a good game. This season is a wash. Stop winning football games. Focus on the draft pick. Focus on the development. Stop winning football games.
It doesn't matter. We weren't going to get that high of a pick anyways because all these dog shit teams out there. So I'm not too freaked out about that.
So we pulled the jersey out from the corner of the bottom of the closet?
It's not burned yet. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
But
still buried away.
But you remember how we had the conversation of if J.J. McCarthy is better than Cam Ward, who would you rather have type of thing. I don't know. J.J. McCarthy just made it a whole lot closer with that performance.
No doubt. I won't doubt you on that. I'm still taking Cam. I still got to stick with my guy.
Do we want to look at first 7 career games between the two of them?
Sure.
And see where they... Because JJ's only played 7 games, reminder, because the fucker can't stay healthy. So let's see if I can choose seasons. Can I do just 7 games?
Can I preface this real quick?
Yeah.
JJ has had Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson his entire career. Cam Ward is throwing to Alec Ayamaner and Chimmery DK.
Don't care.
It makes a big difference, bud.
It does. Okay. First 7 games. Cam Ward has completed 57.6% of his passes. JJ's at 56. Cam Ward threw for 1,300 yards. JJ's thrown for 1,100. Touchdowns, Cam Ward, 4 passing. JJ McCarthy, 9 passing. Interceptions, 5 for Cam Ward, 10 for JJ McCarthy. Rating, 70.9 for Cam Ward, 67.4 for JJ McCarthy.
So, yeah, he has tightened the gap. He's tightened the gap. I'll give him that.
I'm just saying.
Well, I get where you're coming from, but JJ only leads in one of those categories.
I'm just saying for the amount of shit JJ McCarthy has had, rightfully so. Dude's been dog shit. The fact that we are not talking about the first overall pick being as bad as he's been this year is beyond me. In any other year, he is headlines year after year. But this year, I guess it just forget about what's going on down there in Nashville.
100%. That's 100% what's happening. Nobody gives a shit what's happening in Nashville because they recognize how bad the Tennessee Titans are. How awful. We're worse than the Browns. The Browns should have beat us. There's no reason we should have won that football game. The Giants would probably give us a run for our money. Their defense is certainly better than ours.
I think that's just what's throwing me off. It's the fact that he's getting away with some of the worst NFL quarterbacking we've seen in a hot minute, and it's like nothing's happening. You wouldn't know any better since it's just not talked about.
If we're sitting here in December next year having the same conversation, then yeah, absolutely, and we should be. If he's playing like this for the Titans next season, we will have to talk about him as a bust. But I think everybody understands the Titans are going to be rebuild, revamp, get a new head coach, and then it's going to have to be a full offseason, preseason, and then we're going, buddy. I still have a lot of faith in Cam Ward because we talked about early in the season, there's those flashes of it. There's those flashes of, holy shit, this kid's going to be special. But then there's other flashes of, oh my God, it's Will Levis 2.0.
Yeah. I just feel like I have to be the one that serves as a constant reminder to everybody since it's just not talked about. I have to keep you humble. I have to keep you in reality, right? And it's one of those things, it needs to be talked about. Play like shit, get talked like shit. Doo-doo, eat doo-doo.
I'll give it to you. I appreciate you keeping me in my place.
Cam Ward out there doing the fucking thing. I'm going to remind him to be humble. He ain't there yet.
All right. Did you see him huck that dude, though?
No. You think I watched the fucking Tennessee Titans and Cleveland Browns game this weekend?
Hey, that was a fun game. There was a lot of action. There was a lot of play in that.
Yeah. Hey, what was the line of that game before kick?
Like 31 and a half.
Yeah, it was like 33, 34
Crushed
something.
it. Crushed it.
What the fuck? What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
Golly.
I think it was probably the most points we scored all year.
That was dumb as hell. That's so funny, though. Okay. Anything else sports-wise? Yeah.
No.
Oh, talk about... I know. Yep, there is. Talk about it. We forgot to talk about it. We had some upsets in college football. We didn't talk about it in the first segment. Outside of Ohio State, number 1 losing, Or tell me who else lost in college football this weekend.
Yeah. This has to be a first time in history. Nobody's talking about it. 4 divisions of football, being FBS, FCS, D2, and D3. 3 of the 4 number 1 overall teams all went down. Ohio State loses to Indiana. North Dakota State loses to Illinois State in a nail biter. D2, I think it Kutztown. I think is still out there balling, but then D3 Mount Union falls in the quarterfinals of the D3. That's insane. 3 of the 4 number 1s fall.
Can we talk a little bit about that NDSU game real quick?
Sure.
Just to wrap on this show. They were up by 14 points with 3 minutes left. You know how big of an upset this truly was in the grand scheme of it? Because I didn't until I started reading into it a little bit more.
Massive.
This was like, remember when Notre Dame lost at home to Northern Illinois a couple years back, early in the season? That's the level of upset we just saw in the FCS playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and keep in mind. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, and to keep in mind, they won this game. Their quarterback threw 5 interceptions in that game. How is that possible?
In a winner. That kid's got to be the luckiest son of a bitch in the world to pull that one out of his ass.
Also, the cojones on that Illinois State coach to go for 2 at the end of the game. Oh, he fucking pulled them out and fucking slammed them on that table.
And I have to think that he was sitting there going, what do we have to lose? We were like 21, 23-point underdogs coming into this thing. We're not supposed to be in the position. It's either we go for this and we get it and we're heroes, or we lose and we do what everyone thought we were going to do anyway. So why not go for it? I love that decision. And it paid off. Shout out Iowa State or Illinois State. Good for them, man. But hey, real quick,
bring that one up.
And real quick, with the FCS playoffs, number 2 South Dakota State fell as well to Montana.
Okay. So we're gonna have some underdog holding the crown. Some new blood in there. It sounds like, huh?
Tarleton State's making a hard push. Keep an eye on them.
Okay, good to know. Herb, anything else? Shout outs or anything?
Yeah, I'm going to shout out. I'm shouting out a pizza company, a frozen pizza company. It's called Home Run Inn Pizza. It's a Chicagoland staple. It's a superior pie. I got DiGiorno 2 nights ago. It didn't hit. A Tombstone at Jack's is fine in a pinch, but if I'm going to spend $10 on a pizza, I'm going Home Run Inn. Shout out to the boys.
I'm a Jack's pizza through and through. Sorry.
I went with DiGiorno. I don't know why I went with DiGiorno, but I went with DiGiorno to give it a chance, and I can't keep giving it chances.
I don't mess with what's not broken. It's Jack's until I'm dead.
On my baseline, I'm a Tombstone guy. I always have been, always will be.
Oh, disgusting.
I get it. Born and bred.
Oh, my shout out. Have you seen the new Zootopia movie?
I have not, but I've heard good reviews.
I highly recommend. Me and Rachel saw it this weekend, and it was pretty funny. Not gonna lie.
Was it as good as the first? Because I'm a big fan of Zootopia, the first one.
I have to, for it being a sequel, and I'm usually not a fan of sequels at all. I think it was serviceable. It was on par. If there was a variance, it was not big.
Did you hear what they did on opening weekend, numbers wise?
The numbers, yeah. Didn't they do like $500 million? Yeah.
Like crazy, 450 million opening weekend.
The other thing is, you know what movie is coming out that I didn't know about that is gonna be low-key a banger? So Steph Curry has a movie coming out, and it's called Goat, and he plays a goat. So the premise of it is, in this world, it's kind of like think Zootopia but basketball, right? And the basketball league, it's only of like the biggest and baddest animals out there. So you got like elephants and polar bears and giraffes and like these ginormous ass animals, right? Playing on the biggest stage. And they always said that the little guy wouldn't be able to make it, you know? You know Steph Curry's thing, like little guy, like
Sure.
underdog type of thing. It's like that's the premise of it. But the what I think is cool about it, it's from the same producer or director or whatever as the dude that created Into the Spider Verse.
See, hold on, pause, time out. You know what? I did see a poster for this, and now that you say that, anytime I see a movie poster and they had to put the director's name and like the studio that made another hit movie, right? That movie's gonna be fucking trash because they have to use Into the Spider Verse as the fucking toe for this shit ass movie. So I tell you what, I'll see it when it comes out on streaming, and I'm betting I turn it off. Have we had a good NBA player featured movie? Like Space Jam 2 was fucking trash. Uncle Drew, I couldn't watch more than 20 minutes of it. It's better as a YouTube series. What's the last NBA movie?
Oh, it's the Adam Sandler one on Netflix.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that one. Yep. Oh hell, what's the name of that one?
I can't. I'm spacing right now.
But it's got
we know
Juan
exactly what
Hernan
you're talking
Gomez
about
in
with-
it. Yeah.
Yeah. That one. And then you
No,
have
I'll give-
Uncut Gems. Do we count that?
No. No, because KG was out. He was out of the NBA. He was out of the NBA by the time he filmed that.
Not it.
But he was in the NBA in the movie.
But it takes. Yeah, but he was in the NBA in the movie.
Oh, you might have a good
Just saying.
point there. You might have a good point.
Oh, fun fact. And I'll try and keep the names blanked out here. But you know of somebody that went to Drake that I knew closely that was a grade above me that now plays music on the side
Sure.
on the West Coast.
Yep, I'm familiar.
You want to guess? You want to guess who? Speaking of NBA players, who was at his show or the place that he was performing this past weekend?
Who?
Paul Pierce.
No shit. Just that now that
And
Paul
I guess he
Pierce
was a
come to
prick too
see.
because he realized. No, I don't think he meant to be at the same location, but I guess he was a prick because the guy that we know was taking pictures of him and whatnot, and Paul Pierce realized it. He had something to say about it. Didn't like it.
Yikes! Hey, don't fangirl around Paul Pierce. Apparently, the truth ain't the truth, baby.
I guess not. Okay, sorry, off track there.
I like
But
that.
we'll wrap it there. Another episode 34 in the books of Don't Quote Us Sports. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow. Tell somebody you know to give us a listen. It could be our little Christmas present.
Yeah.
It would mean a lot. Yeah, we don't ask for a lot. Other than that, we'll see you on the next one.
See ya.
Peace.